now begin our technology panel discussion. It's titled, What Will Be the Killer Application on 3G? The moderator of this session is Mr. Kunal Bajaj, Director, Analysis Mason, India. I'd now like to hand over to Mr. Bajaj to moderate this panel discussion.
Pankaj, we'll start with you and then move all the way down across. What do you think is going to be really, the title is what are the killer applications on 3G? But what is going to be the service adoption use case in India all about when we have 3G? And you already do have services that are on 3G. So what do you see in the environment moving forward?
To me, what is more important is, apart from the services, there's a very important factor of the fact that people's consumption, the way they consume, and their habits around devices themselves are changing, and 3G is facilitating this process. So they consume. Earlier we would consume out of going to YouTube and looking at videos. Now our consumption patterns are driven by what a friend of mine sends across to me on LinkedIn, and therefore or sends across to me through Facebook. I use his link for me to generate my video consumption. So while we talk social networking has become a means of creating that consumption and linking up to the same mobile internet. It's all embodied into that one thing that I started by saying is mobile internet. But in the early days, one would consume it by going to a browser. Today, one consumes it without even knowing, by using applications, icons, widgets that sit integrated with devices or through an operator, which are taking you to the mobile internet, and becomes almost a part and parcel of what we do. Look at what a friend said, click on it, and I'm there. But people then sometimes say, I didn't hit the browser, but I'm on the mobile internet.
We've all been waiting for 3G for ages and planning. We were just discussing that offline. What's, from a service perspective, is the use case that you see?
I don't know how many of you live in Gurgaon, but I would take an example of Ambience Mall in Gurgaon. Now, Ambience Mall in Gurgaon, what does it provide you is a big facility wherein you have space for everyone. There are places like Big Bazaar and Reliance Mart for a certain strata and certain kind of appetite. There are Marks and Spencers, there are bowling alleys, there are fun worlds, and so on and so forth. Many of the things which every niche population segment would need. In 3G, what we are getting into is creating an ambience mall. There would be plenty of niche things sitting, and everybody would be able to experience what they want to experience on. It would be that kind of a platform that would come into existence, and that is something which is what everybody has paid for. They haven't paid for one single application or one single thing. It is this big platform which will enable most of the people to find something of their interest and live with that. And multiplicity of those coming at any given point of time is something that we are looking at.
As a provider of content services applications, what do you believe is are you going after one killer app or a small set, or is it really going to be this long tail of lots of different things?
We feel that this is an evolving space. It's not evolved as of now. And mobile data space, we strongly believe that is going to become very big. So we're going on a CS-based application, that is circuit switch-based applications, as well as we'll be doing the packet switch applications. And then we are going to do applications on video blogs. We are going to do applications on video streaming, mobile TV, as well as circuit switch-based applications where video IVR. And then we were going to see and segment that what's working and what's not working.
Devices side, I mean, obviously, even in the previous panel, we heard a lot of emphasis on the interface, the form factor. But how are you going to make 3G adoption? How are you going to help it happen?
The main problem would be in the handset orientation would be educating the masses about the usage of 3G. Here we talk about technology on our panel. What we need to focus is go to the rural market, go to the main media segment, go to the consumer, make them understand the 3G format. If you see the inception of 3G, we go to NTT Docomo in Japan. They had that FOMA platform, that is the freedom of multimedia access. We want something like that on a hosted server platform with all our telecom operators. We want the consumer to experience the application and the need and the power of 3G. We can discuss anything on the panel and the forum. We can start to implement maybe technology or integration. But the point here is we if you want a server-based application or maybe, as he said, circuit-based application, we need to educate the Indian customer first.
Vamshi, I mean, coming to you last in the circle, basically, you have applications that are out there. You're working with handset vendors and operators. You've already got subscribers who are experiencing high-speed internet access and applications. What's it like? What do you see in terms of what are people have affinity towards, and what's not working?
If you look at from an Apple technology standpoint, we primarily are focused on the video market segment, which is, TV is one form of video content. Most of the growth today, across the globe is driven from consumption of video and, of course, social networking. I think we're going to see a lot of convergence more happening where social networking and video is going to get together. We see that, education of the customer I see as a primary thing in driving adoption. Basically, again, I think we see trend of, from just a video consumption standpoint, we are focused on TV.
I think we're going to wrap up the panel discussion at this point. Thanks.
Well, I'd like